Everyone's talking about AI making things faster right now, but I just got back from one of the biggest YouTube conferences in the world, VidSummit, and I went around and I asked people what was their number one tip for editing videos faster. None of the answers had anything to do with AI. So let's look at what they said, and then at the end, I want to share how I've changed how I'm editing my videos, that it's actually been so impactful, it's changed how I do everything in my business using a little piece of human psychology. Of course, now I have to find out how to not be introverted and actually talk to people so I can ask them the question. What's your best tip for saving time on editing?
Because I didn't know how to edit, I decided to go with Adobe Premiere Pro because they had the shortest little clips that I could Google when I needed to know a very specific learned skill.
So basically you chose the software that had the shortest tutorials?
That's exactly what I did.
40,000 subscribers later, here you are.
Here I am. It's amazing.
Best tip is actually really smart. I always say the fastest video editing tool is the one that you already know. And if you don't know one, then it's probably the one you can learn the fastest. What's one tip you could give either in the filming side or the editing side that speeds up editing?
I would say number one is the pause button while I'm recording, just so I'm not rolling so much extra footage of random talking, planning, things like that.
So simple, but a brilliant way to save time, especially if you're doing product videos or something with a lot of setup like Logan does. That's a huge time saver. Me, it's mostly just me trying to say the same line 30. Well, of course, I mess up as I'm doing it right now. Me messing up the same line 30 times in a row. So what do you got? How do you edit videos faster?
I don't edit.
So like you have an editor, like would they have a tip like somebody else does it or?
No, I just don't edit. So all I do is I shoot the video, I press start, and then I talk, and then I press stop. And then that goes on the internet.
So all your content, you just upload it as is?
Yes, so if I like mess up a little bit, I just roll with it because it makes you more human to the audience that's out there.
Okay, hard to beat zero editing in terms of saving time on editing. But for those of us that still do need to edit, let's keep going.
The best way to ingest the footage, because you need to watch everything, is to do it in 2 times speed. And then another big tip that I would recommend is learning shortcuts, like for your hands, so you're not clicking a bunch of stuff. Like I'll do these claw movements with my hand, you know? I don't even remember like what buttons I'm pressing. I just have like a muscle memory of like what shape my hand needs to be in.
I'm picturing his fingers getting into these weird double jointed positions. By the way, he wasn't the only one that brought up keyboard shortcuts.
The best tip is fiddle with the app, because trust me, when you know where things are, your thumbs will be the fastest thing to take you from this feature to this feature.
I'm glad they shared those because I use keyboard shortcuts and I teach editing, but I never teach keyboard shortcuts. But essentially, if you've ever learned a musical instrument, or you can imagine a piano player, they're not thinking about where to put each finger. At some point, their fingers just know where to go. So if you're looking to edit faster, long term, learning the keyboard shortcuts for whatever tool you're using is probably well worth it. What is your best tip for editing for people that are time strapped but want to make their videos?
Okay, I am very time strapped. I have children, I'm busy, so I do everything on my phone from start to finish. I film, I edit, voiceover, all on the phone, so I can do it anywhere.
Do you do it in the grocery checkout line or?
I can do it, or if I'm waiting in the car for my kids to get out of an activity or anything, I don't need my laptop.
What's the minimum amount of time that you need before you decide, I can start editing the video right now?
Maybe 10 minutes.
10 minutes, okay.
Yeah.
So after hearing all of these great ideas that absolutely will speed up the editing process, I realized none of them fix the real reason editing takes so long in the first place. It has nothing to do with our computer or our software. It actually has to do with our brain. The parts of our brain that make decisions are different than the parts of our brain that takes action. And unfortunately, as humans, what most of us do when editing a video is we try and make decisions and take actions at the same time, or quickly alternate between the two of them. So our brain slows everything down. So I took this and I applied it to how I edit videos. So let me show you how to do it. Super simple. First, you decide how you're going to edit your videos. Videos plural, okay? Ahead of time, before you even have a project open, you decide exactly what you're going to do to edit each one of your videos. I'm going to remove all the mistakes. I'm going to remove all the silence. Obviously, those are the kind of the basic things. Then I'm going to add text on screen for my 5 key points. I am going to add B-roll once every 30 seconds or 60 seconds, whatever you decide. But the point is, you make the decisions and write it down ahead of time, almost like you're writing down instructions for someone else to edit your video. Then when it comes time to editing our videos, we're not making decisions, we're just taking action. And it goes so much faster that way. In fact, I'm breaking all of my tasks now into decisions and actions. And so I will block off a half a day just for making decisions. And then the other half, or the next day, will be for taking action. And it first happened a couple of months ago. My wife at dinner was like, "Hey, how was your day today?" And I said, "I got so much done," because it was all things I'd already made decisions about, and all I had to do was take the actions, follow the list. So let me know what you think about this. Is this crazy, or could you see this working for you to edit your videos faster? I'd love to know in the comments. And if you do want to edit even faster, yes, of course, use AI. Take what I showed you in this video and combine it with the video on the screen right now, and you can easily be editing your YouTube videos 10 times faster, if not more. All right? I'll see you in the next video.